Hi everyone, Nick Creticos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and tonight you're watching me on Bowdabra. Behind the camera tonight is my younger sister Bella, so as you come in, be sure to say hi to Bella and thank her for recording me tonight. So we have a bunch of ribbons. It's Christmas time, you guys, so I'm very excited about designing for Christmas. So as you come in, let me know where you're watching from, and while I share this video and kind of make sure all of my comments are working, look at some of the ribbon choices we're going to be dealing with today. So we have some snowflakes on top. We're also going to be doing one fall bow just because Thanksgiving is still right around the corner and we want to make sure that our house still looks beautiful for Thanksgiving. So first and foremost, if you guys don't mind giving this video a like and a share, I would greatly appreciate it. And also let us know where you're watching from. I always find it really interesting knowing that people can be watching from all around the world. So definitely let us know where you're watching from. But let's get started. So like I said, we have all sorts of bows to make tonight. We're also going to be doing a very simple lantern swag, which I'm excited for as well. So the first bow I want to work with is this. I've had this ribbon for a while now, and I want to finally put it to use right now. And also just a fair warning, if you're trying to order your Bowdabra from Michaels or Amazon, they are currently sold out. So purchase your Bowdabras and your Bowdabra wire from either Hobby Lobby or Bowdabra.com. Okay.
Hi, Ruth.
Hey, Ruth.
From North Carolina.
Yeah, Bella, you haven't done a video in a couple days too, I feel like, right?
Yeah, it's been a few days.
Yeah, a few days. But here's what the large Bowdabra looks like. And tonight, you guys, look at me. I know I do work rather fast, but tonight we are going to take our time because I really want you guys to master bow making. One of the biggest goals I've set this year is to have as many people that are struggling with bows, potentially have it click in their brains. Because once it clicks, it's very easy after that. It's not like you can forget. You might, forget other techniques or not necessarily know how to make them. But once you've kind of mastered the basic type of bow, from there on forward, it's just, moving ahead. It's very easy. So we're going to start, like I said, with the snowflake ribbon. And for this bow, I do want to make a funky bow and a traditional bow to show you guys two different examples. That's something we haven't done before. So I've just cut a length of our Bowdabra wire. And for those of you interested, this is what the wire looks like. It comes on a 100-yard spool. Unfortunately, I can't give you guys an example as to what the gold looks like, but just imagine gold wire. And again, you can get this from Bowdabra.com. So this is a very strong wire. It's covered in kind of some type of coating. Not 100% sure what it is, but it makes it very strong. So I've placed a length of it. You're always better off cutting it longer than shorter, just for the fact that if it's too short, you're going to have to cut a whole extra piece. And who has time for that, Bella?
No one. Annette says, great haircut.
Thank you, guys. So nobody has time for that, especially right now since we are decorating 7 or 8 Christmas trees, depending on how far we get. So that's my plan for this week, you guys, is to be ready for Christmas, have my home decorated, do as many tutorials for Nick's Exclusive Wreath community, as well as you guys as possible, too, because for about 2 weeks of the Christmas season, I'm actually out of commission for a little bit, making all of our fresh designs. Oh, sorry about that. Making all of our fresh designs, so we are going to be very busy for the next few weeks. So, of course, if you guys don't mind sharing, we would appreciate it. It helps us reach and inspire as many people as possible. And that's what these videos are all about, is inspiring you guys and hopefully teaching you how to make a bow. So can you see what I'm doing here? I'm just taking a random length of ribbon. For those of you that are kind of new to me, I'm Nick Creticos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, but I'm very not particular about my bows. I'm particular with fluffing, but when it comes to loop size, you guys, I could care less. Well, not loop size, I mean tail size. Loop size, we like them to be rather similar, but tail size, they can be all different lengths. So if you're 2-3 inches off, the more off you are, the better for these funky bows, because I think it makes them so much more visually interesting, having them all sorts of sizes. So I'm just taking my ribbon, kind of pinching it with about a 4.5-inch loop, and cutting my tails. See how this one's this long? We'll cut this one this short, just to show you guys it doesn't make a difference.
Rachel says I learned all my bow making skills from Nick.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. But hands up for Bella right now. Isn't she doing a great job? So we are live on Bowdabra each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, but they also periodically do lives here as well. Definitely check out Bowdabra's blog posts. They, do really in-depth blog posts. So if you're not following them yet, definitely follow them. And if you're not following me as well, follow me at Nick's Seasonal Decor.
Jess says, hello from Chicago. How do you know your loop size?
loop size. Well, you know, from years of making it, I can kind of gauge the size of the loops. But even this one, look at this one's kind of off. See how much longer this one is? So it doesn't have to be perfect. I really can't stress that enough. And the reason I say it so much is because when I first started out, I was a perfectionist. I sort of still am with certain things. Like photography, when it comes to pictures of my designs, I'm a little bit picky. But, you know, over the years, I've just found it doesn't make a huge difference if you're off. If anything, it makes it better. So now that we have our wire in our Bowdabra, we fold it in half. So on one side, you can see here, we have a loop, like a loop. And then the other side, we have two openings. So we're going to take, bless you.
Sorry, guys.
So we're going to take these openings and bring them from one side to the other. Doesn't make a difference which side you bring it to. Because either way, it's going to be finished off. You can compress your ribbons at this point, too. We don't have too many. Usually when I really compress it is when, you know, the bow's coming up to here. But as you can see, it's not. So I don't exactly know how many loops we created, but it's not really going to make a huge difference either. Now what we're going to do is just tie it into our Bowdabra.
Wendy asks, is that burlap snowflake printed ribbon? I believe so.
Is.
Yep, I believe so. Yep.
It is. And isn't that pretty? This is a 1.5 inch ribbon. So I'm just taking the wires to the back of my bow now and just tying it using the Bowdabra wire. Like that. How ugly is that? Right? It's Bella's looking at me like, do you mean to say that? And I do, because now is one of the most important steps to really make your bows as beautiful as you can get them. And that's through fluffing. So before we even fluff, I'm going to add another professional touch, and this is known as dovetailing. And you guys are pretty familiar with this by now. But we're just taking our ends, folding them in half. I already did that one. Folding them in half and cutting from the middle out towards the wired edge. So this part is a little bit tedious, but trust me, it pays off in the end, you guys. So if you don't dovetail or cut at an angle, you're missing out, because that's really what also takes your bows to the next level. It shows that you kind of went the extra mile, you know?
Thank you guys for saying bless you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I know. You know, allergy season here is no joke, especially with everything going on. But my family is just allergy prone. Me, doesn't hit me hard in the fall, but come spring, you can't even understand me. I'm so congested. Right, Bella?
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, our final piece. I see we have almost 600 of you guys. Thank you all for tuning in tonight.
Nick, Jeannie says, hi guys, a big hello from Ontario, Canada. Nick, can you please tell me where you get your bow maker from? We don't have Hobby Lobby here.
So no problem. You can get your Bowdabra from Bowdabra.com, as well as Michael's. I believe Michael's is international. I know that there's some locations overseas. Not exactly sure where, but I could be mistaken with that altogether. But I'm pretty sure that they have Michael's in other states. So you can check there. Hobby Lobby and Amazon will be restocking in the next few weeks. But right now they are currently out of stock. So now all I've done is I've just pulled my tails apart, made sure everything's kind of fluffed out. And look at how pretty that bow is. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of loops on this either. Keeping it very simple. I like that. That would be cool on a present. You could even just stick that on a lantern like that. I mean, you'd probably want to add a little bit to it. Bella's looking at me like, what are you doing?
That's what I would do.
That is what you would do, Bella. But we're going to create another bow. Oh, I do want to show you guys two different techniques using the same ribbon. I think by using the same ribbon, it also kind of shows you the different possibilities.
We have a quick question here.
Yes.
Pamela asked, does it matter which way you fold when dovetailing?
When dovetailing? No. So, you know, if you mess up, that's definitely something you'll notice. Because instead of a dovetail, what ends up happening is that you create kind of a diamond shape. This is what you get. If you dovetail the wrong way, this is the perfect example. If you dovetail the wrong way, you're going to get a point. Which, honestly, you guys, might not be the worst thing. I know I've never liked it before, but we constantly change, we constantly evolve, and I think it would be something that would be kind of unique. So maybe I'll give that a shot. What do you guys think? Comment down below if you think I should do something different with the ends of my tails. So we'll just take these two. I'm not going to cut these at a point because there's not enough. It'll just look funky. But we're going to just dovetail our tails. Tails can be however long you want. So if you really want a large bow with large tails, just cut them longer. Everything can be kind of done to your own liking. But I'm going to take these tails with about 18 inches on either side, place them into my Bowdabra like so. So again, if you haven't commented down below that you would like to win a free roll of ribbon, definitely do so, because Bowdabra will be giving away a free roll of scrunchy ribbon. Your color choices are red, silver, and gold. I am still on that silver kick, you guys. Even though I'm decorating a Christmas tree currently with lots of red, silver is still my thing. But what I've done is I've just taken my ribbon, placed it into the Bowdabra upside down, and then when we create our loop, I'm also pinching. So taking my ribbon, pinching it, doesn't matter which way, placing it back into your Bowdabra. So I do things a little bit different than a lot of people might. I actually move my Bowdabra instead of move my hands. So I just like to rotate it kind of one turn, or is that a quarter turn? A quarter turn. Half a turn. Half a turn.
Wait, do it again?
Yeah, half a turn.
Half turn, yeah.
Half a turn. And just creating our loops. So how many of you guys are excited for Christmas? I certainly am. If you haven't been able to tell, something's off with you, because I've been ready for Christmas since the day after Christmas last year. I'm always ready for Christmas. But there's so many different ways you can make bows. I don't do a whole lot of different techniques, if we're going to be honest. You know, usually the techniques I do are the ones that I really enjoy, and I usually stick with that. But you guys can be working in however many ribbons you want, however many prints you would like as well you can be doing. I usually keep my bows and my reeds kind of simple, but if you wanted to, you could be adding, 3-4 different types of ribbon. I just don't do it a whole lot. So we'll do one more loop for good measure. Cut off our ribbon, place it into our Bowdabra, and compress. Now we'll take our wire. So on this side, we have the loop, and the other side we have the two tails. So like I said, it doesn't matter which way. Bring it from one side to the other. Tighten. Then you can just create one knot right in the middle of it. I feel like the strings are like hitting the camera, but they're not. So create one knot. Now it's kind of tied together, but not enough for me. I want to make sure my bows aren't not going anywhere. Lots of people want to win. I just ordered a bunch of ribbon to make bows. You've inspired me. Thank you, B. I appreciate that. That's my main goal, you guys. And when you let me know I've inspired you or have helped you out over the years, I mean, that's probably, honestly, the biggest compliment I could ever receive. So I like to do it 3 times just to make sure my knot is not going to fall out and my ribbon's all nice and, contained. Now we can begin fluffing. Like I said, fluffing is one of the most important steps with bow making. It really brings your bows to life and makes them look as great as you possibly can get. So I see over 600 people. Thank you all. Looks like 620 on my screen. So we hope you're all having a great Monday afternoon. All right. So that's a traditional bow with our tails. And that's a funky bow. So 2 different techniques using the same ribbon. I hope that kind of, showed you different examples of what you can do. So I'm the type of person that can kind of visualize, different products with different situations. But I know my family can't. So I know lots of you guys might be like my family, where it's kind of hard to envision, using a different, color or print or texture or size. So hopefully that kind of made sense. So you can use 2.5-inch ribbon instead of the 1.5-inch we use. But now I want to create a bow that I created live the other night. So we created one live using our hands the other night, and tonight we're going to show you guys how to make it on the Bowdabra just because it's so pretty. So we're using a 2.5-inch burlap and a 1.5-inch buffalo plaid. That is burlap snowflake printed ribbon. There we go. So cut another length of our wire.
Sandy says, hi, Nick. Love that you do our lives for Bowdabra.
Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. I love being on Bowdabra. You guys are incredible. And like I said, if you have a tough time making bows, get yourself a Bowdabra. It'll make your life easier. But we're going to take this ribbon first. This one's kind of thick, so be careful with super thick ribbons, especially if you're adding a lot of loops and a lot of tails to it, because it can get kind of hard to work with, especially when you're twisting it. So I'll cut a length of this. We'll do a completely different bow now. So just some tails like that. We can dovetail ahead of time just to save us a second or two. So again, comment down below if you'd like a free roll of ribbon. We're going to be drawing our winner in the final 5 minutes, so stick around. If you're not here when we call our name, unfortunately we have to move on to the next person. But who doesn't want free ribbon, you guys? So now we're going to take our ribbon, place it in. Like I said, I move my Bowdabra. If that's confusing to you, you can just move your hands. Create our first loop. This loop's about, I'd say, 4.5 inches or so. We'll create our second loop. We'll do 4 loops on either side. Or 2 on either side, so a total of 4. Our second loop, compress, especially if it's a thick ribbon. If not, you don't have to worry about that at this step. Second loop. Do a couple, we'll just do one more. Let's do something completely different. We'll just do 4 loops like this, and then we'll come back in with our next ribbon. So I'm going to cut it off. When you cut off your ribbon, leave a little bit of an overhang. So right here, as you can see, we have about 1/4 to 1/2 inch left over, and that's really crucial, you guys, because if you pull on a loop too hard, there goes your entire beautiful bow. Come back in with this ribbon. This one will cut 2 smaller tails, much smaller. So these 2 tails are only about 7 inches on either side, 8 inches or so.
Shirley says, I just found you a few months ago. You have been an inspiration to this old floral designer. I love watching you. You and your family are very polite.
Oh,
thank you, Shirley.
Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate that. Like I said, it's the biggest compliment, and it means a lot. It really does. But take this ribbon now, place it into your Bowdabra. We'll do another 2 loops on either side. Lots of you guys want to win. Awesome.
Over 600 of you guys. Wow, thank you.
Thank you all. Again, keep the shares coming if you haven't done so yet. And also let us, you know what, I'm going to ask kind of a question just for my own curiosity. For those of you that are putting up a Christmas tree this year and celebrate Christmas, I would love to know what color tree you're planning on doing. Are you planning on doing something traditional, something whimsical? You know, let us know. I would love to know the color combination. So we're doing 7 trees, like I said before, maybe more if we have time. And we're doing all sorts of types, so we're going to try to cater to as many people as possible. And I'm really looking forward to that as well. All right, so we did 2 loops on either side, and then I created a button loop. And the button loop is only about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, if that. Compress your ribbon since it's kind of thick. Take your wire, bring it from one side to the other. Create your little slip knot. Tie it off. Almost 700 now. All right, so it's not secured yet. I mean, it is kind of secured, but I really like to make sure my bows aren't going to fall apart. So I'm just going to take the wires to the back. We don't need them in the front. Give it a good another tug. Make sure it's not going anywhere. And then create 2 or 3 knots.
Amanda says one is burgundy and gold. The other is a whimsical elf theme. Ooh, that's cool.
Ooh, that is cool. Yeah, post pictures too. I would love to see what you guys create. I'm actually going to be creating a post on Nick's Seasonal Decor in a few days from now, where you guys can post all of your Christmas trees. I'm not sure, I don't think you guys can post pictures in the comment section of this video now while we're live, but come back in afterwards too, because I would love to check out all of your trees.
Ooh, Jane's doing one that looks like a snowman. Linda's doing a champagne and pink tree.
Ooh, we did champagne and pink last year with silver too.
Red and white. Lots of cool ones out here, guys.
I'm excited to see everybody's tree. I'm excited to see what our trees look like. Actually, I'm a little nervous. Hopefully, you know, you guys like my trees that we do this year. We're going to put a lot of thought into them and a lot of effort. You know, this year's the year we're going to make our trees the best they've ever been. All right. What do you guys think of that? That's so pretty. Give some hearts if you guys like that bow. I see over 700 now. Thank you all very much. So, I think that's really pretty. What do you think, Bella?
I love that one.
Very simple. You can attach this anywhere. What I think this would look cool, I don't know what you guys have for your homes, but on our staircase we have like little, I don't know what they're called. Do you know what I'm talking about? The, like the sticks?
The white poles?
Yeah, but they're not called poles. I forget what they're called. Oh, not finials. I don't know. Let me know if you guys know what they're called. But I think that would be really cool to kind of, you know, go maybe every other 6 or so and place a bow going up your stairs on your staircase. So if you don't have time for a garland or you don't feel like making a garland, this might be a good alternative. So that's our 3rd bow. We're going to create another one now. Where's my wire? There's my wire. So let's cut another length of the wire. Again, cut it longer. You know that saying, you measure twice, cut once. The same thing kind of applies to the wire or ribbon for that matter, because you can't go back, you can't add to it. You just have to take that whole piece apart or create a whole new bow. So place our wires underneath. Let's see. So I do want to create one fall bow. Like I said, I don't want to do too much fall, but since Thanksgiving's coming, something like this would be really pretty if you just, you know, I don't know if you guys are getting together with your families this year or not, but even if you're with, so my logic when it comes to decorating is you don't have to have anybody over. Nobody has to see what you're doing. As long as you enjoy it and if it makes you happy, that's all that matters. I believe, you know, touches of Christmas or touches of whatever holiday belong in every room. And I think that's the perfect ribbon for it. So we're just going to cut off some long tails with some loops, place them into our Bowdabra. So we've used this ribbon before, but we've done a different bow for it. But this one, we're going to try something different too. This might also be kind of cool on your doorknobs. I know that sounds kind of like crazy that you're going to place a bow on your doorknobs, but that's something I'm going to try this year as well, because I think it'll look really cool having something on your doorknobs, especially if it's a doorknob you don't use frequently. So I'm just creating all different layers, all different sizes. what you can also do is come back in. So let me show you. You can have your pieces pre-cut if that makes it easier for you. And then what you can do is you can create your loop directly in your Bowdabra. Like so. So we're going to primarily focus our loops up top and then create all of our tails down below just to see what kind of effect that'll create. Cut another length. Place it into our Bowdabra. Like so. And this ribbon was actually sent to me probably 3 years ago by Damon Oates of Deco Exchange. That was before he started selling. I'm not sure where he got this ribbon from, but I'm still going strong with it. It's a 50-yard roll. It's very thick. Okay, that's enough loops for me. We have 3 loops up top. We're just going to take our wires, do the same thing again, create a little slip knot, feed it through.
Oh, are they called spindles?
Spindles, that's the word I was looking for. Spindles, yes, thank you guys. See, they're always helpful. They always know the answers to the questions that I don't know the answers to. All right, create a knot, tie it off. Okay, let's see. Tie it off on the back as well. So yeah, definitely be sharing your photos to Bowdabra's design gallery. You know, whether it's your bows or your Christmas trees, we would love to see all of them. So they also have a separate Facebook group that you guys can be joining as well, and an app. So if you haven't checked out their app, you can check it out. You can get it in the Apple Store. Is it Apple Store or iTunes Store? Apple.
Apple.
Apple that
iTunes
has
is
apps.
music.
I don't know, you guys. But Apple Store that has apps. iTunes is just music. There we go. So just dovetailing those ends too, trying to make it look a little nicer. Always want to go the extra mile. And then after this, we are going to create a very simple swag. And when I say very simple, it's going to take us no time at all to have a beautiful topper for our lantern. So we've dovetailed all those tails, at least I think we did. Now we can start spreading those loops apart. Giving everything a good fluff. And like I said, this would be really cool on your staircase, but also on your doorknobs. And I know that's kind of a weird spot, but how many of us have closet doors or, you know, cabinet doors that we never open or very rarely open? You know, you don't want to place it where it could be an inconvenience, opening your front door or anything like that. But, you know, little doors in your homes that you don't often open, that's the perfect place. So there's that bow. What do you guys think of that? Spindles on the stair. Thank you, Nell. So Bowdabra shared the link to the group. So if you're interested in that, check out the comment section. They just shared the link.
Jane asked, Nick, did you teach yourself how to make wreaths and bows?
I did. So, you know, practice makes perfect with everything, you guys. You know, we all inspire each other. You know, I've been saying for years, yes, I know how to make certain things, but you guys constantly inspire me day after day. You know, seeing the wreaths that you create, I'm just like, wow, that's an amazing wreath, you know. So you guys have helped me out. I've helped you out. It's just like one awesome community with the amount of knowledge and sharing that takes place. That's pretty. What do you think, Bella? So
I love that one.
One tail on the side and all of the loops up top. So imagine this is a doorknob right there. Something funky. All right, lantern swag. So all we're going to take is one sprig of this. And I'm just going to prep it for the time being, but we're going to create our bow before we attach this, of course. Cut off our tag or rip it off. It rips off easy, which Hobby Lobby tags seem to never rip off easy. You guys know that. Okay. Isn't that a pretty spray, though? Give some hearts if you guys like this. I really like that. It's a beautiful spray. So with this, we don't need the stem at all. At all. So I'm going to cut it maybe 1/2 inch below the pine cone, just that way the wrapper doesn't kind of unravel. Does that make sense, Bella? You know how like this paper stuff unravels? So you want to do it low enough where we're not going to kind of damage the spray itself. And this is a thick spray, you guys, so it's going to take some muscle. There we go. Right in my trash can, too, that stick just fell. Okay, there's our little swag. Not looking like much, but I do want to add a bow to this. So I designed a very old sleigh using this ribbon the other day, and that spray that we just, you know, cut the end off of, and it turned out really pretty. So I want to use this ribbon again because I think it's the perfect match. Look at that. See how nice that looks with the flocking and the berries and the pine cone? So we have a winner, Anita Sykes Gravit 1. So congratulations, Anita. If you have yet to message Bowdabra, definitely send them a message so they can send you your free roll of ribbon. Again, the color choices are red, silver, or gold.
Congrats, Anita. That's awesome.
Taking our wire, placing it into our Bowdabra, and we'll create a simple bow for this one now. So again, if you haven't shared, please share this video. It lets us know that these videos are beneficial and helpful to you, and like I said, hopefully inspire you to get out there and make bows. I know lots of people intimidated by bows, and my job here is to get you guys confident with bow making. You know, whether you know what you're doing or not, give it a shot. Right, Bella?
Exactly. Just
Give it a
do it.
shot. Just do it. That's right, as Nike said. So we're going to take this. You can just place it into your Bowdabra as well. Twist it around. We'll do another one. I don't think we need much ribbon in this. I think we'll just stop at 4 loops. We'll do one more just for the sake of it. So one more. Placing it in. As you guys can see, I am not measuring. It's not going to make a huge difference in the end anyway. It kind of makes it much more interesting, like I said. So taking our wire now, bringing it from one side to the other. I've watched you, Nick, since before you chose your business name. Oh, thank you, Ginger. Wow, that's a long time.
What was it?
It was Nick's Seasonal Decor. That was the first idea I created. Bella's looking at me like, wait, you had a different name? No, my name from this page has always been Nick's Seasonal Decor. But just taking this, taking it, you know, with the wire and just wrapping it from behind, tying it really, really tight. Like I said, you don't want this going anywhere. Before we cut anything off and before we dovetail anything, we are going to take this and secure it to our swag. So see how we have that stem right there? That's where we're going to place it, right in between there. Any negative spaces will be covered up now with our bow. Hi, Patricia. Welcome. Nick, does champagne and gold go together? Absolutely, Diana. It's one of my favorite color combos, actually. All right, so just tying it from behind, making sure it's not going to go anywhere. That's my biggest concern, you guys. You never know where you're going to be sending your products. For those of you that have business pages, you never know exactly where you're sending things or where they sell to. And you always want to keep other climates and, you know, stuff like that always into consideration because you just never know. So cut off our wire. We don't need the excess. Now what we'll do before we secure it to our lantern is just quickly dovetail. Very quick, very easy. So this is definitely budget friendly. The spray was $12.99. Then we're just adding some basically leftover ribbon. I have maybe a foot left on this roll. Just from the weight, I can feel it. Dovetail, dovetail, dovetail. I think this is the last one. Am I missing any, Bella?
I think you got it all.
Of course I am.
Oh, I missed it.
I always seem to be missing one or two of these. All right, we got 2 minutes left. So this is going to be our final project. So hopefully we've inspired you guys. And again, definitely let us know. Drop a comment. And if you're interested in your Bowdabra, you guys can pick them up, like I said earlier, from Hobby Lobby. You can pick it up from Bowdabra.com as well. Unfortunately, Michael's and Amazon are currently sold out, but they will be restocking in the next few weeks. Taking your little lantern. To secure it, I want to show you guys that as well. We're just going to take a piece of wire. So this wire is really thick. For lanterns, I do recommend a stronger gauge wire. Don't use pipe cleaners. You know, definitely take some, this is moss-covered wire, so it looks a little bit fancier. Take a length of that. Secure it on your swag. Kind of underneath the bow. So definitely make sure you cut it above, you know, an inch or so above the swag, the stem, because you don't want pieces falling out like that just happened. But we can secure that afterwards. It's no big issue. So taking your wire, wrapping it really tight, really tight, you guys. Moving to your lantern. And we can bring that higher, we can adjust it. We can take this longer piece down below. Just want to show you guys. Take that longer piece, cut it off, like so. And you can actually just take those pieces that you cut off or fell off and hot glue them to the ribbon, making sure there's good contact. So that's the most important thing when I design lantern swags, is making sure there's good contact with the ribbons, the greeneries, because you're not working with, you know, a super strong frame. You're just working with whatever, you know, you're using. Where'd that piece go? Didn't a piece just fall off? Or am I going crazy?
Oh,
here
it's
it
stuck
is.
to the thing.
There it is, you guys. All right. So I'll just take that and secure it over here as well. Up top. Then we can fluff out our bow real quick, even though that looks honestly fine for me. And that's saying something, you guys, because I'm picky when it comes to fluffing. All right. Pull off any of your glue strings, and there you go. Very simple one spray lantern swag. So not fancy at all. We can make them much fancier. We've done lots of lantern swags in the past, but you know what, you guys, sometimes less is more. Sometimes budgets, are in effect, and sometimes you just don't want to be using lots of product. So this is the perfect example. So we created this. I know I'm going a little bit over, but we created that. We created this bow. We created probably my favorite of the night, this bow. And I showed you guys two different versions of using the same ribbon, just to give you guys an example as to what you can do using, one type of ribbon, but different types of designs. So here's a funky bow, and here's the most traditional bow you can ever get. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. If you haven't given this video a like and a share, definitely do so. And like I said earlier, we would love to see your Christmas trees and your bows that you create. So share them in the comment section here, as well as join Bowdabra's design gallery. The link is in the comments if you're interested in joining that. And I want to thank Bowdabra tonight for having me as a guest. I enjoy spending time with you guys and teaching you guys how to make bows. You guys are just incredible. And as always, I hope I inspired you. So thank you guys for keeping me company tonight. I hope you guys all have a great remainder of your Monday. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.